Back here in Sauce and Shram on Stadium, watchstadium.com, and Shrammy, this weekend, UFC 242 over there in Abu Dhabi. It's going to be lit. The return of Khabib.
Kids say these days, right?
Yeah, Nurmagomedov taking on Dustin the Diamond Poirier. We got to break all this down, and of course we do that with our buddy Jordan J. Adams. Friends, we call him Jay. Jay, United Fight Alliance on Stadium tonight, 9 p.m. Eastern. Tell the people what they're going to see.
Hey, Dave, before we talk about cage fighting, can I just ask you a question? Have you been working out?
I'm trying, Jay.
About that.
I'm trying to get on your level.
That's Mizzen Maine for you.
Mizzen Maine is changing my life. But, Jay, it's all because of you. When you were here in Chicago and I saw your physique, I said, I got to get on Jay's level. And that's not easy to do.
But now you got a shirt that showcases all the work you've been doing.
I'm trying, Jay. I'm trying.
Gleason T-Bow's watching the fight. He's watching your show. And he took one look at your physique. He said, I'm getting out of the sport.
I don't want any part of Gleason T-Bow. I don't want any part of him.
Jay, what do you have on this week on United Fight Alliance, 9 p.m. here on Stadium?
Hey, thanks very much for that. Yeah, we're so proud to be presenting the Fighters Only 11th Annual World Mixed Martial Arts Awards Show. What a fun show it is to catch you guys, because you get to see all your favorite fighters behind the scenes. You get to see them outside of the fight world. You're still going to get to see great knockouts. You're going to see DC Cormier, Dustin Poirer. You're going to see Khabib. You're going to see Amanda Nunes. You're going to see Israel Adesanya. You're going to see all your favorites, Tony Ferguson, El Kukui. They're all going to be on there. You're going to be seeing their knockouts. You're going to be seeing Fight of the Years. You're going to be seeing Fighter of the Years, because all of these awards, like KO of the Year, they're all going to be included with video.
Wow.
So it's a super fun show to watch. It's hosted by Dolph Lundgren. You remember him,
Wow.
Drago from Rocky fame. The dude is funny. He's really funny. He comes out, he puts on a good show. It's co-hosted by our good friend Dave Farah, who is an outstanding MMA journalist in Las Vegas. He's also a radio celebrity out there. He's co-hosting with Dolph, and the two of them do a fantastic job. And that's tonight on Watch Stadium at 9 p.m.
That is going to be awesome, and it's good to know that Dolph has rebounded since that horrific loss he had at the hands of Rocky over there in Russia at the end of Rocky IV, so he's rebounded well. We know that we're very excited, obviously, to see this card in Abu Dhabi, and I've been scrolling through Twitter, and they're like, the people are showing out for Khabib, who's already there getting ready to take on Dustin the Diamond Poirier for the lightweight championship of the world on Saturday night. Jay, I know that everybody looks at this and says lopsided, right? Khabib, the Diamond's a great fighter, we know that. How can Dustin the Diamond Poirier pull off what I think some would believe to be a monumental upset Saturday night?
That's a really good question. And a lot of people consider Abu Dhabi as home court advantage for Khabib, being out of Dagestan. And like you said, all the Russians and everybody from his neck of the woods are flocking to Abu Dhabi right now. He will have home court advantage, no doubt about it. They have a common opponent. They have two common opponents, Michael Johnson and, of course, Conor McGregor. And Khabib won both of those fights, and Dustin lost both of those fights. So very strong argument, like you say, that this could be a blowout. Khabib heavily favored. The last numbers I saw, he's given away 400 points.
Woo!
You know, Dustin, 300 plus. I'm going to go out on a limb and say, if you're a betting man, and I would take the points on this one. Now, I know I'm probably going to get some pushback, but I'm going to make a case that Dustin is peaking at just the right time, and he's fought tougher guys than Khabib has fought. Half of Khabib's record are Russians that are hard to track. Now, he's fought some tough guys. Obviously not taking anything away from Khabib. Fought some really tough guys. But Dustin has fought Max Holloway, Eddie Alvarez, Justin Gaethje, Anthony Pettis, Cub Swanson, just to name a few. He's handled them. And his mindset, if you watch any of his stuff right now, his mindset is absolutely on point. You know, it's really such a mental game when both athletes are so elite. Khabib, he's been steady excellence. Steady excellence. But Dustin's excellence is on the rise. So which excellence is higher? Who has more, who has nothing to lose? That's one of the other factors. So I'm taking the points with Dustin. I think he's peaking at just the right time. Not taking anything away from the eagle, obviously, but if I'm a betting man, I am going with the diamond.
The one thing, though, that, Jay, I love the way you broke down the records, but you did not include Khabib's victory over the bear. Remember, he actually wrestled a bear, and I don't know that that counts as an official win.
I think it was just a cub, though.
Oh, it was a cub. It wasn't a full.
It's like a preteen cub.
It wasn't a full bear.
Exactly. It wasn't a man bear.
Right.
He didn't fight the full man bear.
And as I always say to you, Shrammy, I don't know that the bear knew that he was in a fight with Khabib.
Right. Yeah, Khabib would do well in your neck of the woods, wouldn't he? Because you got the bears there, you got the cubbies.
Packers might need him.
Huge Russian population up there. We got to make his next fight right there in your arena there, one of the most beautiful venues in the world.
I like what you're selling
I think
there.
it might sell. UFC 242 also selling as the co-main event, Edson Barboza and Paul Felder. Now, you just talked about how on paper, the other co-main event, it may be a little bit of a mismatch. Is this one like that, or is this much closer according to Vegas and on paper?
I think this is much closer, guys. You know, these two have fought before, as you know. It was a very close fight. Edson Barboza doing what he does so well. The fastest kick in probably all of MMA. You can barely even see it. The switch kicks, the heel kicks, the axe kicks. And I think Felder wasn't ready for it. I think that he wasn't prepared for that speed. He wasn't prepared for that kind of power. Edson Barboza Jr. at 20-7. It was the kicks. It was the power. Felder's an absolute monster. I think what Felder kind of fell into a pattern, and I think in the long run, it hampered him. He was doing a lot of, spinning back fists. He was trying to figure out the code. I think he might have the code this time around. I think that, like we were talking about Dustin on the way up, Felder's been on the way up. You can look at trajectories. Edson kind of in a must-win situation here in the co-main event. He's dropped to 3 of his last 4 fights. And, the pressure in this weight division to win is intense. So he's going to be, I'm guessing he's going to be fighting with a little bit of stress. Felder, is a promotion favorite. The boss loves Felder for a lot of reasons. The Irish Dragon keeps getting better. Every time he steps into the cage, he improves on something. There you see some of his nasty elbows. He's just so strong. I think you got to give this one to Felder. You saw, that was actually the first fight he had dropped in a long time with Barboza, and he was physically angry. I mean, he was really, really angry at himself. He's not a sore loser. He was upset with himself. I think he's going to up his game in this co-main event, and I think he beats Junior.
Yeah, we've had the Irish Dragon on our show here, big fans of his. That is a huge matchup in that co-main event. I guess somewhat surprising news here is that Chris Cyborg has left the UFC, signed a record deal, the most ever made by any woman in the history of Bellator and that promotion. Jay, I look at it and go, well, Dana White created a division for Chris Cyborg, the 145-pound division, and she loses to Amanda Nunes, and yes, she won another fight and won, but then just rolls out of town. What'd you make of that, of her leaving the promotion?
Guys, this is the sort of the question of the year. Earlier we're talking with the Fighters Only Award Show, the best of the year, KO of the year, fight of the year, comeback of the year. This is the question of the year. You create a featherweight division for women. You bring in the marquee fighters. You've got a woman who's cleaning out 135 and 145 in Amanda Nunes. You finally have someone who can give her the fight of her life. You've got a huge money rematch, and you let it slip through your fingers? You leave her exposed in free agency? What is the thinking on Dana White's part in leaving probably what most people would argue the best female fighter in history exposed to the marketplace? When Scott Coker was able to reel her in, his biggest question is, I couldn't believe that Dana left a 45er exposed. He snatched her right up. It was really incredulous. No one can figure it out. We know they've had the back and forth, but as a promoter, and your obligation is to your stockholder, to a multi-billion-dollar corporation. Your job is to hold on to the best fighters in the world. She is one of the, if not the best fighter ever, especially as a female fighter. And you leave her exposed, you let her go on, what, ego? Because they're going back and forth? you know, it's ugly. It's ugly. If you look at the history between these two, it got really ugly. But as the promoter, you suck all that up and you throw ego out the window and you do what you have to do to sign, you know, Cyborg. I mean, she's fighting for another organization now. You just lost Nunes Cyborg too.
It's amazing that that fight will not happen, at least not in this promotion, not in the UFC. Great points, Jay. And again, do not forget, you got to check out the United Fight Alliance. It is tonight right here on Stadium. Jay, can't wait to catch up again whenever you come back in the great city of Chicago. And, of course, we'll recap all the fights in Abu Dhabi this weekend.
Where do I get that shirt?
Miz and Main, baby. Miz and Main. It fits like a glove.